Minimalism is a lifestyle trend that has been gaining substantial popularity worldwide. In recent years, there's been a growing interest in minimalism, with an increasing number of articles, documentaries, and videos being created, exploring and examining this lifestyle. Its claimed benefits are multiple, from reducing stress and increased productivity to promoting financial freedom and fostering creativity. We're going to explore the reasons why an increasing number of people are choosing to practice minimalism by looking at what effects this practice has on the individuals that practice it, as well as highlighting the key motivations cited by those who choose to adopt it. Everything from today's world fights for our attention, from social media platforms to email inboxes, from TV commercials to billboards on the street. Everything wants to get our attention. With so many distractions vying for our focus, it's no wonder that we can experience fatigue. We're constantly bombarded with promises of happiness, success, and fulfillment if we buy a certain product or engage in a particular activity. Advertisements are designed to trigger our emotions and create a sense of urgency to act, often leading us to make impulsive decisions that may not be in our best interest. Our constant connectivity to the internet has created a culture of FOMO, where we feel like we have to keep up with the latest trends and be constantly connected to social media in order to not miss out on anything. This constant barrage of information and the many things that promise us happiness can make it challenging to focus on the things that truly matter in our lives. With minimalism, you're encouraged to realize what's truly important for you and what are distractions, and spend your time doing the things that are meaningful while also eliminating the distractions. Each person has their own unique set of values and priorities, which shape what they find meaningful and important in life. For some, it might be the satisfaction of helping others, such as educating children or volunteering in their community. For others, it might be the joy of spending quality time with loved ones, building relationships, and creating memories together. And for others, it might be the excitement and fulfillment of exploring new places, trying new things, and gaining new experiences. But what is certain is that, despite these differences in values and what people find meaningful, spending your time on what's important for you will naturally bring you joy and fulfillment, while spending your time on the distractions that the modern world offers will most likely create feelings of emptiness and unhappiness. But doing what's important for you may require money. Well, with minimalism, you can often save money by avoiding unnecessary purchases and consumerist temptations. In this way, minimalism can help you create a more intentional and purposeful relationship with money, allowing you to redirect your resources towards the things that matter most to you. In a well-known research paper from the year 2000, the psychologists Sheena Iyengar and Mark Lepper conducted two studies. On the first one, consumers shopping at a grocery store encountered a tasting booth that displayed either 6 or 24 different flavors of jam. Out of the 242 customers who passed the selection display of the 24 types of jam, 60% of customers actually stopped at the booth. In contrast, of the 260 customers who passed the display of 6 types of jam, only 40% stopped. The customers who encountered the 24 types of jam were more attracted to the booth than those customers who were exposed to only the 6 types of jam. But surprisingly, this initial attractiveness still didn't make the customers who were exposed to the 24 types of flavors to buy more jam, with only 3% of these customers actually buying a jar. However, 30% of the customers that were exposed to the 6 types of jam purchased a jar. Even though having more options was more appealing, when it came to purchasing the product, the ones exposed to more options bought 10 times less than those with fewer options. In the secondary study, students in an introductory social psychology class were given the opportunity to write a 2-page essay as an extra credit assignment, and varied the number of potential essay topics from which students could choose. Specifically, students were randomly assigned to either a 6-topic or 30-topic condition. The study examined whether the number of choices affected the percentage of students who completed the assignment. Results showed that of the 70 students presented with 6 essay topics, 74% turned in the assignment, while only 60% of the 123 students presented with 30 essay topics chose to complete the assignment. These findings are consistent with the first study, and both outcomes are a result of a phenomenon called choice overload. This phenomenon describes how, when people are presented with too many choices, they can become overwhelmed and may even experience a decrease in motivation and satisfaction with their decision. and also they may fear regretting their decision. Choice overload can be a very common problem in our modern world, where we are constantly bombarded with an overwhelming number of options in all aspects of our lives. This can lead to decision paralysis, dissatisfaction with our choices, and ultimately stress, anxiety, and fatigue. With minimalism, you have fewer possessions. Your life is simpler, and thus you'll be confronted with less choice when making decisions. For example, by owning fewer clothes, you can easily simplify your wardrobe and reduce the time and mental effort required to choose an outfit each day. And with that extra time and energy, you can focus more on what matters the most. Many credible scientific studies have shown that the human economy is degrading the planet's ecosystems in ways that are unsustainable. It is clear that human beings need to change their consumption habits and improve the efficiency of commodity production to achieve ecological sustainability. But few people and no governments are prepared to accept that to attain this goal, the global consumer class must reduce its consumption. On the contrary, the mainstream position on sustainability seems to be that economies around the world simply need to adopt sustainable development, which in theory means continuing to pursue economic growth increases in GDP, while employing science and technology to produce and consume more cleanly and efficiently. While this sounds good in theory, it is not really aligned with reality and practice. Although many economies around the world are indeed getting better at producing commodities more cleanly and efficiently, overall, the ecological impact is still increasing because a growing number of commodities are being produced, exchanged, and consumed as a result of growing economies. We might have more fuel-efficient cars, for example, but we are also buying and driving more cars. These efficiency improvements are outweighed by the increasing amounts of commodities that are consumed. And the obvious implication of this is that technology and efficiency improvements are not going to solve the ecological crisis, as their most optimistic advocates suggest they can. At least, not unless the global consumer class also downshifts to some significant extent from its unsustainably high levels of consumption. There's also a growing amount of people on Earth that exacerbates this issue. On November 15, 2022, the world's population reached 8 billion people, and the United Nations estimates that this number will increase to approximately 9 billion by around 2037. That's why, for so many people that practice minimalism, the environmental concern is a significant motivator. According to a study involving over 2,000 participants, 80% of them reported that their decision to adopt a simple living lifestyle was driven by environmental concerns. A significant amount of people are drawn to minimalism because of the minimalistic design. One of the key principles of minimalistic design is that less is more, similar to the minimalist lifestyle. Minimalistic design seeks to reduce complexity and eliminate unnecessary elements, leaving only what is essential for the design to function effectively. This approach can be seen in many different areas of design, from architecture and interior design to graphic design and product design. Minimalistic design often favors a neutral color palette, with black, white, and shades of gray being common choices. Other muted colors, such as beige or pastel shades, may also be used sparingly. The idea is to create a calm, uncluttered visual environment that allows the essential elements of the design to stand out. The clean appearance of the minimalist design often captivates individuals, piquing their interest in a clutter-free living space, and it potentially leads them to adopt a minimalist lifestyle. In a systematic review, which is simply a type of study that looks at other research studies on a particular topic, 23 studies were analyzed to see the relationship between voluntary minimalism and well-being. The vast majority of studies showed that there is a positive link between voluntary simplicity and well-being, meaning that those that practiced voluntary minimalism reported higher levels of well-being than those that did not. These findings were true regardless of how they were measured. Minimalism was associated with positive emotions such as joy, happiness, and fulfillment, and also associated with psychological benefits such as decreased stress and anxiety, and a reduced risk of feelings of depression. Well, given all the things we talked about before, we can get an idea why minimalism may contribute to these positive emotions and why it may decrease negative feelings. But as a reminder why minimalism is becoming so popular and why it may be beneficial, here are the main 4 reasons. It reduces the number of choices individuals have to make, which can be beneficial in avoiding choice overload and its associated negative effects. People have more time to focus on what matters, and also they have more money. The minimalist lifestyle promotes environmental sustainability. And finally, the aesthetic appeal of a clutter-free living space and minimalist design is attractive to many people.